Governor Cuomo is facing yet another woman describing her experience of harassment at his hands. And because of that, calls for his resignation have intensified. His third woman accused him of offensive behavior, saying he touched her face and back and asked to kiss her moments after they met at a wedding reception. When she removed his hand with her own, the woman said the governor remarked that she seemed aggressive and placed his hands on her cheeks. He asked if he could kiss her loudly enough for a friend standing nearby to hear. Ms. Ruch was bewildered by the entreaty, she said, and pulled away as the governor drew closer. I was so confused and shocked and embarrassed. Her account was corroborated by a friend. She says, I turned my head away and didn't have words in that moment. I mean, it's certainly good that her account was corroborated, but to be fair, it was also photographed, as you can see here. So she doesn't look to be enjoying that interaction with the governor. So a spokesperson for the governor didn't directly address the account, but referred to a general statement that Mr. Cuomo released on Sunday night, in which he acknowledged that some things he had said have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. So we can add this to the list. When you grab a woman by the side of her face and say, "Can I kiss you?" you might misinterpret that as flirtation.
It's disgusting. There is not anything more disrespectful than putting your hands on somebody, and putting your hands on someone's face is a very dominant behavior. It's how dogs communicate with each other. They stand on each other, they lick faces. Those aren't kisses, that's dominance. Yeah. And clearly Cuomo is not very far off than animalistic dominant behavior. This is the power this is the problem with powerful people. And we don't have a lot of women in power, but there has been cases of women exhibiting or wielding their power over others in this same sort of sexual domination way. But it's not some rampant issue because we live in a patriarchy and the majority of the people that have power are men. So we're seeing this really affecting women across the country and across the globe. I mean, I myself have been subject to this behavior countless times in many jobs. And there's women, and I'm not sure if this is a woman who was working with him as an aide, wanted to work with him, or if there's another aide that was working with him that also was subjected to this type of behavior. So this is just, how hard is it? No pun intended, but how hard is it for you to just leave these people alone that you work with? Consider them family. They are not there for you to be entertained. They are not there because they're in proximity, that doesn't mean they're free game. And we heard it from Trump's mouth. Grab them you can do whatever you want when you're famous. They let you do whatever you want. It is disgusting, and it's so funny to me that we've had, the Democratic Party, a lot of the, oh, how dare he? Oh, this is terrible. But yet they're doing the same exact thing. And what's worse about Governor Cuomo's behavior is that he tried to backpedal it, like, whoa, I thought I misunderstood. No, you didn't. You think you can do whatever you want to anybody because you're in power. And that is why you did what you did. And you should have stepped up and said, you know what? That was wrong what I did. I took advantage of the fact that I thought that I could do whatever I want. And you know what? Should he resign? Should he not? At least he would have come up and said, you know what? I messed up. And that is what we expect of our politicians and our leaders. He did not do that. And that is why he's in worse trouble right now, because he tried to backpedal it and minimize and diminish what these women were feeling. And I have been in that position, and it is very difficult to stand up for yourself. Now, I'm an older woman, older than early 20s. That's young, John. To be able to be assertive enough. And then she was assertive and he accused her of being aggressive. This is what happens when women assert ourselves. When we say no, then we get blamed, then we're a bitch, then we're a prude, then we're all these names that they call us, and they continue to push us. And that's dominance too. So this is just another example of it. It is.
Well, it's like gaslighting too. It's like, imagine like taking someone by the side of their face and saying, stop being aggressive. No, she's not grabbing your face, dude. Yeah, and like the apology, no, when you take someone's face in your hands and ask if you can kiss them, they're not misinterpreting anything. That was what it is. Now, you can say you weren't actually trying to have sex with her, but you were definitely flirting with her. So don't gaslight people about what you're doing. And if you do, it is no longer an apology. It is an evasion, it might be an excuse.
That's not flirting. That's not flirting.
But when I use that word, it's 100. Everything he's doing is inappropriate. He shouldn't be doing any of that. He shouldn't also be lying about what he's doing. He is trying to engage sexually with her. That's what he's trying to set up. It was not a misinterpretation. It was not just some joke that had nothing to do with sex. It was 100% tied in with sex. And he needs to understand. Now he could have come out and said, I've done tons of stuff that I was wrong to believe was appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. It's not appropriate now. It wasn't appropriate then. And I pledged to never do anything like that. He could in theory do that. And then people could evaluate whether that's good enough. But that's not what he's doing. And so do you think, I mean, let's say we don't know if more accounts are gonna come out. I would assume there are probably more accounts out there based on what he's done. Do you think he is going to make it past this, that in a couple of weeks, it's just not gonna be a story anymore? You do?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Why? Because they always do, John. The Me Too movement came, everybody screamed about it, and then where is it now? I see women getting treated like this all the time. There is no accountability. There are no consequences. And this will get swept under the rug. This will get sort of pardoned by his party. And he will come up with another statement that maybe resembles what you just said. And well, meanwhile, we have, celebrities and such that have, pauses put on their career. Louis C.K., he didn't rape anybody except for rape their eyes. And it's the same thing with Cuomo. You don't have to actually kiss somebody to humiliate them. It is a humiliating feeling to have a man or anybody in power. I don't even want to genderize it. It is humiliating to have somebody in power who she probably was excited to meet, like, I'm gonna meet the governor.
Maybe.
And then he does this to her. It is humiliating. I've left jobs because of it. I've been fired because of it. I mean, it has happened to me countless times, and I know it is happening across the country to so many women in particular. And I know that there's some outliers of men that had been subject to this behavior as well. And I'm not condoning that just because they're men. It is really the exploitation of your power that you know that you can get away with this kind of stuff. I mean, Trump, through his disgust and honesty, he said it flat out. And he doesn't apologize for that behavior. I do not want to hear one Republican saying anything about Cuomo, not because it's not wrong, because they condoned this behavior years ago. So zip your lips now.
Exactly. Yeah, I largely agree. I think he's probably gonna make it through. And not everyone does. Some Democrats have stepped down. I mean, Katie Hill, Al Franken, there's been a couple. But that's really about it. And almost all Democrats.
Not the level of power he has. Not at this level.
I mean, Al Franken was a senator, but they also knew that they could easily replace him with another Democrat. I mean, in theory, you could do that with Cuomo as well. But I get what you're saying. I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, sadly.
Now,
and you know who won't be? These women, John. That's who won't be just fine. They're gonna come out here, they're gonna get raked through the coals, and then they're gonna get nothing. Maybe they'll get some measly settlement or something like that. Meanwhile, they're humiliated and they're gonna have a black mark next to their name, just like Monica Lewinsky.
You're crazy, Viviana. They do this to get famous. That's why they do it. All these women are just looking to get famous because who wouldn't want it to be the thing you're known for?
We have no recourse, John. I was sexually harassed by my boss a couple of years ago. He actually did kiss me. He offered me cocaine. He asked me to go to his hotel room. This is after I had already worked for him successfully for a year. And we were renegotiating my contract. He wasn't gonna give me a raise, and all of a sudden he came on to me. I knew that I had no recourse other than to walk away from that job. Sure, I could have fought it, went to court, do this thing. I knew that I wasn't gonna get anything out of it. I had to just move on. And these are the sacrifices women make all the time. And we're out there trying to we're trying to compete with in our careers out there. And a lot of men will say, well, they use their sexuality to get advanced. Maybe that is the case, but what else do they have? They're trying to get ahead in a world that has their shoe on their neck. Anyway, I could go on for hours about this, John. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm very passionate about it.
There will be future powerful men that we'll have to discuss. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.